What's up guys? Today I'm going to be showing you an in-depth guide on how to build this exact CCTV camera that I made. Now everything as far as parts aside from the camera are going to be linked down in the description. I'm going to go through an explanation on each and every part, especially the wiring. For those of you that are curious on what this is, you've never seen this before, this is a handheld CCTV camera that I made a while back. And if you're coming from my Instagram, I'm sure you have already seen this camera. But if it's your first time seeing this and you want a handheld camera like this, I'm going to go through all the steps on how to build this today. If you guys want to skip to different sections of the video, they're going to be broken up into chapters. And if you're looking for test footage, that will be at the very end of the video. But otherwise, each section, such as the battery, the DVR, and wiring up the screen, are all going to be broken up into their own segments. So when you guys buy your DVR, it's going to kind of come in a case like this or something similar. Now inside, you'll get a wiring layout for the AV cable. For those of you that are curious on how to operate the DVR, this manual will show you how to do everything. If you check the links in the description, there will be a link to this exact memory card. So this TF card here, it's a 32 gigabyte card, which you really don't need anything bigger, but the way that this is formatted makes it compatible with the DVR. So the card goes in the top here. This is your AV in and your AV out. They're both 3.5 millimeter jacks. This is your battery level. So when you turn everything on, it'll display your battery level and this green light. Now, if you want to hit record on this DVR, you have to press and hold this left arrow if you're holding it in this orientation. And now it is recording. Once this green dot is blinking, you know you're recording. So once you hook a screen up to it later, you can navigate through the menu on the DVR with these three buttons up here. Don't quote me on this, but I'm pretty sure when you're navigating through the menu, I haven't done it too much. I didn't really need to do anything to my DVR to get it to work. But I'm pretty sure you can navigate a lot of these options in here, such as like resolution, frame rate, and the input format. Like I said, I haven't really navigated around with mine a lot, so do not take my word for that, but mine pretty much worked right out of the box as I needed it to. So when you buy the mini DVR, it should come with one of these. And your DVR is also going to come with this here. This is a single yellow RCA cable to a 3.5 millimeter cable. So some older cameras will take this three-way RCA cable for their audio and video output. Some cameras only take the 3.5 millimeter cable for their audio and video output. Standard 3.5 millimeter cables, each little prong on the cable will be wired up differently than what a mini DVR needs. So with these cables here, each different ring will correspond to a different thing that it's wired to. The tip of this cable will probably be wired to the audio left. The second spot will be wired to the video, and then it goes ground, audio right. So these cables are a little bit different. They're wired audio left, audio right, ground, and then video. All that means is if you get one of these cables, you're pretty much going to have to swap around the red and the yellow to get your video output. This is going to carry video, and this one is going to carry audio. So I'm going to zoom in here for you guys, but it shows all the colors on the left side for each wire. So the video will be the red wire, the ground will be the black wire. The green wire is going to be audio R, and then audio L is going to be the white wire. Now, if you're looking to make a custom one of these cables for another camera that you have that you want to shoot to a mini DVR, what you're going to need to do is swap around the green and the red cables. So when you wire the green to the red, when you cut this open, it's pretty much going to swap these cables, the yellow and the red, so that the red actually outputs audio and the yellow actually outputs video. Now, if you guys know how to cut, strip, and solder, you can do the exact same thing to these. These are literally $4 on Amazon. They're extremely cheap. So next up, I'm just going to talk a bit about this camera first. I'm not going to take too many things apart just because it was kind of annoying to get everything in here how I wanted it to. The main thing you need is a BNC to a RCA adapter. So these cameras will have this BNC video port here. Now, these cables do not plug into there, which is why you need one of these. I bought these in a 4-pack on Amazon. I'll put the link in the description. It was really, really cheap. Now, if you buy the exact same camera I have, which some of you out there are doing and you're curious, I switched over this tab to DC, the iris tab. It was set on video. It wasn't outputting any video, and some people had issues with no video output. Switch it over to DC, that might solve your issue. So another reason why your camera is not going to be outputting any video to the screen is going to be because you're either using the yellow or the white with the wrong cable. I would recommend making a custom cable of your own or finding a custom cable if you don't want this kind of bundled up mess. So when you use a cable like this, you'll plug this part into the DVR, and then you are most likely going to have to plug the red into the yellow here because this one carries the video. Now, if you bought a cable that is just the 3.5 millimeter to the yellow, I'm sorry, it might not work for you. It might be the wrong cable, or it's wired for just audio left and right. Now, next on the list, everyone is very curious about how I wired this camera up, so I'm going to show you. So this black wire here that you can see is actually the negative coming from the battery. If you're confused on how my cables are laid out, the positive, negative, and the charging cable for the battery come out of the battery right here. This is how you charge your battery. The battery will come with a charger. You plug it into here and that recharges the battery. Like I said, the charger will go right into there, and that's how you charge your battery. Now, I put some Velcro strips on here and stuck the battery to the side of the camera, and I ran the cables down below in between the Velcro. When the wires come out, the negative is going to come out here, positive is going to come out here. The positive will get wired up to your switch. If you're not using a switch, wire the positive directly to the positive terminal on the camera. I would highly recommend using a switch, especially if you're going to use a screen. If you don't use a switch, what's going to happen is the camera will get continuous power from this battery until the battery is drained. So if you charge the battery fully up, you might only have, a couple hours or a day before the battery is fully drained and the camera's dead. You can do this if you want. You do not have to add a switch. If some of you guys are intimidated by adding this switch, do not worry. It is like the easiest thing to wire up. I had no prior knowledge about electronics or wiring going into this, and I did all of this by myself. When you have your switch, you want to wire the negative all the way up directly to your negative terminal here. So when you get your camera, I need to mention this as well, you need to look out for direct current and if it supports 12 volts. Most cameras are going to have a 24 volt AC compatibility. You need to make sure it says something about DC 12 volts so that you can use one of these batteries. Sometimes it is not going to say anything. I would keep digging or look through the manuals. You can also use ChatGPT and ask for the manuals for these cameras, or just if it allows direct current. So once you have your positive and your negative wired up properly, you're going to take your second pole of your switch and wire it all the way up to the positive here. So then the battery positive is going to the switch, and the switch other output is going to the positive on your camera. Basically what this means is your power is going into your switch, you flip the switch, and then the power goes to the camera. That way your battery remains charged while you're not using it. Now, for those of you that are new and not coming from Instagram, this is my camera I bought here. It is a Toshiba IK, not to be mistaken with a 6400A. So those curious about my lens, here are the specs for it on the side. I know some people on Instagram are asking what kind of lens you had. Did it come with the camera? This came with my camera. I did not have to buy this separately. You can buy these separately. I do not know how much they cost though. This cable coming off of the terminals, the positive and negative are getting wired up to this right here. This cable is exactly what's going to be powering your screen. So when you guys buy this backup screen off Amazon, it is going to come with a cable like this. Now, this is extremely straightforward. You have your positive and negative, and then this is what goes and powers your camera. I swapped it out for something a little prettier. This one looks a lot neater, and I put heat shrink tubing on the end. I did not shrink this down yet because I wanted to show you guys on video of how I wired it. So right now, with the power going to the switch, when you send it to the camera, it is going to send power to these screws here, and then it's going to power the screen. When it's sitting in the off position, this cable is going to get no power. When you wire up your cable for your screen to get power, these red and black wires should be touching the black and red wires that are going to these terminals, or they should be touching the screw, wrap them around there, do whatever you need. Your screen is going to come with these three cables here. This red cable is going to be where the power goes. So you're going to go ahead and plug that into the power. And then you guys are going to want to use this yellow cord for your video input. The way I mounted my screen on here, and it really just depends on how you want to mount it yourself. This is it's like a foam adhesive piece that goes between the screen and the camera. It just helps it stick on there. This is literally held in with just adhesive, which is why I keep it in a case and don't set it on its side. From the video out on the back of the camera, we will plug in this RCA cable, and that cable will run right up into here. Make sure it goes into the AV in, not to be mistaken with the AV out. This is going to go directly into your DVR and give your DVR footage. So another thing I did not list was some wire. I just bought some red and black wire because I thought I would need it. Turns out I really didn't. I used a small strip when wiring the switch to the camera. As you can see right here, this is the piece of wire that I used to go up there. I did not have any extra wire laying around, so I just used this. Another thing I bought that really helped were these female disconnects. These pieces right here, I bought them at a hardware store. They were super cheap. So this makes it a little easier to wire up to your switch. If you want, you can quickly disconnect them and reconnect them rather than looping them through the hole in there or soldering them. It's totally optional if you guys want to go this route. I just went with this just because it was a little cleaner. It was easier. But overall, you can just take the wire and loop it through the hole on there and then heat shrink it or wrap it with electrical tape. On Amazon, there is a very small, cheap kit for heat shrink tubing. Now this kit is just going to have bundles of everything you need for heat shrink for beginners, I would say. Now if you buy the exact same battery as me, you'll get some extra parts here. I didn't really have any use for these, but the only thing I can say is some batteries, instead of having the red and black wire, it'll come out with something like this. And one of those will get plugged into here, and then your wires, your positive and negative, will come off of here. And just to show you guys, it does show the positive and negative for which one is which on these. I'll leave a link in the description to this kit if you guys do want to buy it. There are many different grips on Amazon to use. I bought this one just because the ergonomics were nice, and it was roughly 10 bucks. Next up, you guys want to grab your 3-way RCA cable to the 3.5 millimeter. Plug it into the AV out. Now, when you guys are testing this, just make sure you turn your DVR on. That's when it's going to send your video output to your screen. So once you power your mini DVR on, your screen should receive an output, assuming that you wired it correctly. Now, if we unplug this red one and plug in the white one, it's not going to give us any video output because this is directly wired to the audio left from that diagram I was showing you earlier. Now, when you plug in yellow to yellow, like I said, guys, it's still not going to give a video output. If you guys want to as well, you can link up the red to the white. It's going to give the same video output. I'm not entirely sure why. These might just be 2 video ports. But the red and the yellow with this exact cable should give you a video output here. That is how you send power and video output to your screen. Just remember, it is that red to the yellow wire, and then it is from the AV out on the mini DVR. That's pretty much it, guys. If you want to kind of organize this differently, you can. I just kind of bundled this up and stick it up here. It's not pretty, but I am working on a cleaner alternative to this. Now, once you've gotten to this stage too, you can add your grip to the bottom or whatever kind of mount that you're using. It will pretty much turn into a point and shoot camera. And like I said before, in order to record, you want to make sure you hold this arrow here, which is the left arrow. Wait till it's blinking. You'll know it's blinking when in the bottom right of your screen, you'll see that blinking red light. So if you press and hold the menu button, it'll pop up with this video menu. And then if you press and hold it again, it'll switch to the setup. This is where I was saying you can adjust the format, language, and a lot of different outputs. Now, I didn't have to do anything in here, but I would just make sure that your TV output is on NTSC. Your light frequency, I would just keep on 60 Hertz. That's what mine is on, and that's what's worked best for me. And if you hold the menu button again, it'll exit the menu and go right back to your main screen. At least personally, this is the biggest bottleneck that I notice. I do not like using this cable just because it is long, bulky. I do not have a soldering iron, so I cannot trim this up. But later down the line, I will be getting a cable that's a lot cleaner for this, that works with the DVR. And I'll also probably think about trimming this cable and maybe making a video on how to do that. Now, everyone's curious about how you add audio to this. The way I'm going to recommend using audio, and I will put images on screen to help you guys out. You're going to want a cable like this, but you're going to want it for here. Keep in mind, the red is still your video cable, so you would plug the red into here. I have not tested this myself, but I will be testing it later on. Red will go into the camera as that carries the video, and then these last 2 cables will carry audio. So this cable will get plugged into the AV in, your red cable will get plugged into here, and now you will have 2 extra cables left over. What you can do with this is you can buy adapters online, which they're 2 female RCA ports to a 3.5 millimeter female port. If you find a microphone with this kind of cable, the tip, ring, and sleeve, what you can do is plug it into the adapter on screen here. And then once you plug it in, just make sure these 2 other cables get plugged into the female RCA ports. In theory, this should give you a microphone to use for this. From what I hear, the microphones are not the best quality. They kind of sound staticky or just drowned out. Another thing too is if you get a cable like this and you want to trim it, I've heard there is audio loss from cables like this when you start messing with it yourself. But if you guys do want to add audio, that is how you would add it. You can find like a wireless microphone and plug the receiver into that 3.5 millimeter port, or you can just plug a microphone, like a shotgun microphone, directly into it. Like I said, guys, I have not tested it yet. I haven't really had a need for a microphone on this camera, but I will look at doing so later down the line. This is how you guys are going to transfer your footage to a computer. If you're looking at transferring it to a phone, you'll need a slightly different device. Now this one has a USB 3.0 and a USB-C port on here, and it fits both regular size SD and micro SD cards. Now, if there's any of you out there that have made these cameras already, and there's some things I messed up on, feel free to let me know in the comments or things you did differently. If you built one of these yourself and want to help out other people, feel free to answer comments down below. If you're looking for more content like this, go check out my TikTok and my Instagram, which is where I post most of the content for this. But other than that, I hope you guys enjoy, and let me know in the comments if you have any questions related to this camera.